family snapping duck shit.
My good mate from Bump and Run Booker joins us.
I'm excited for another great show tonight. Give it the hoot nanny.
Hey everyone, welcome along to Trackside with Kokpit, brought to you by GARAGE16. Kinser and Booker back for another Wednesday show. Hope you're doing well out there. Yes, half the year is gone for 2024. We get closer to the Speedway season and we're now into the month of July. Too early to think about the man in the red suit and the big white beard. There's still another few more months away. But it's good to have my mate back from down in the South Island, made it back up to the beautiful Hawke's Bay where it's always stunning there, but a bit chilly like most of the country at the moment. We're getting that cold winter snap coming on through. Books, mate, good to have you back in the north, and how are you?
Oh, I'm good, mate. Yeah, it is a bit colder tonight. It's actually colder here tonight than it was for my whole trip in the South Island, to be fair. It might be because I've had a shave and a clean up for the show finally. I was looking a bit like the old hippie bloody, what do you call it, Bigfoot. So, put a clean up for the show, and now I think I needed it for this cold weather, mate. Bloody hell. It's yeah, but
just summarize the South Island. You know, if it wasn't for the grandies and everything, it would have been tough to get you back over the Cook Strait, mate. You kind of fell in love with the place.
Mate, it's it's a different world down there, you know. It's a bloody fantastic place. I think I've said it a couple of times now, you know, like we jump on planes and we fly around the world to see places, and we've got this amazing place in our own backyard, you know, the east coast. I never got to go up the west coast, but the east coast of South Island, it's bloody fantastic. And down there for that Southern Lights rally, that was a fantastic event. The R2G boys, Tony and Paul and their team did a fantastic job down there running the Southern Lights rally. Of course, Hayden Patton, he took it out with the big win. I mean, he's just a freak behind the wheel, isn't he, that guy, you know? And just, yeah, the whole trip was great. Going down, seeing some sights, walked into a place that I thought was going into Happy Days in Kaikoura, you know. It's but doing that show out of the motorcycle mecca there in Invercargill, what an amazing place with, you know, the solo bike behind me. I have a major solo bike, you know, and then you know the Bill Richardson Transport Museum where they ran everything from. I mean, they were just so friendly. The start, you know, everybody was great, and that place is. I mean, if you're in Invercargill, you got to, you know, Kins, as well as I do. Those are places you got to go to. I mean, it's an all day job going around the bloody Bill Richardson's Transport Museum. I mean, it's got everything, man. You know, but yeah, just a great trip, man. I really enjoyed it, and I'm very, very thankful that Paul and Tony and the R2T group brought me down and sorted me out, and looked after me, and yeah, it's. Hey, and then Jason from the pits, he took me to the bluff to have a look at the bluff, and I got to see the world's fastest Indian. Of course, everyone saw that on his page, the world's fastest Indian and the world's slowest North Islander. Yeah, so, yeah, too much front weight on me to be the fastest, mate.
No, good on you. I'm glad you went down there. Look, and there's plans for the both of us coming up next year. We're going to be part of a bit of a tour as well. So we'll get to hopefully see the West Coast for you, bro, down in the South Island. Hey, Wayne Otten, good to have you on board watching the show as always. And yeah, sentiments to my mate here with the loss of his dog just the other day. Scott Phipps, yeah, the Phipps family watching from all over. Brian, B-Man, Walker, how are you? Wayne Stewart, Mike Q. How are you guys? Got my tattoo. Mike, that's right. I think when we spoke to the All-Stars, we congratulated them on their win of the Team Nationals, but also said they've got a T-shirt out available as well. That, of course, you know, celebrates them winning that event. A good friend over there in Oz. G'day, mate. Old Loz. Loz, hopefully catch up with you come February. We've got our tickets for Palmy teams. And Thomas Scott. How are you, Thomas Scott? Look, we've got a pretty full-on show tonight. We do cover off a bit of Speedway with Robbie Mabey from MBY Motorsport a bit later in the show. But our first guest we want to bring on is a young man that's talented, a wealth of family background when it comes to motorsports. We can talk granddad, but that'll take up the whole show. We could talk about the family that's involved in motorsport. The passion behind the Fitz family is unbelievable. We speak about many families in the speedway world that we know, Booker and I. We've spoken to many families, and just the family support around boys and girls in motorsport in general is huge, and that's
Yeah.
what we love doing the show.
Oh, 100%, mate. And you see it in all our sports at the moment. I think young guys and girls coming up through the ranks, and they got their parents' genes or their grandfather's genes, and they're just amazing drivers. We said in the mini stock class, you see young Ashton, we're going to talk to shortly. His pedigree. His dad was a great racer. His granddad was a great racer. He's got uncles racing. It's incredible. Paul May, you know, he's Robbie's got his kids, Paul, and they racing, and we see so many families coming through. You got the Reeses, you got the Myers, you've got the Joblins coming through. It's just awesome to see, and I saw some of it in the rally too. Some of these young kids coming through, and I think they do so well, mate, because they just got no fear.
You nailed it on the head, mate.
Hey.
They have got no fear, and hey, they give 120% all the time. And then without any further ado, you can follow this young man on Facebook, Ashton Phipps Motorsport. He's even got a bit of a website as well. All the details, everything you want to know about this young man. But why don't we just bring him into our show, and you can find out all about this young man. He's much better than what his dad was online racing. He was bloody hopeless back in the day. Hey, Snakey, you know what I'm talking about. Remember him and Cop back in the day with those V8s, Corona cars? They thought they were good. They weren't that good, really. He used to blow them away. Anyway, we're not here to talk about that and talk shit about him. Ashton, welcome to the show.
Yeah, thanks, guys. It's a pleasure to be on the show with you guys.
Hey, it's a pleasure to have you on the show because I understand too, at a young age, you had no choice but to get involved in motorsports. And we touched on briefly around Granddad, what he way back over the many years, Dad and the rest of the family. It had to be just a given thing for you to follow.
Yeah, definitely. I've always liked motorsport ever since I was a little kid. I used to go to the track with Dad and stuff, to the kart track, and I guess everything just fell into place. And now it's my turn to take the motorsport career further.
It's more than what you've taken the motorsport to a level. At a young age, you've achieved so much, eh? But like you say, that doesn't come easy and doesn't happen overnight. Like you said, you've grown up around the sport, but when you've got a family that is so close to motorsport and the wealth of knowledge that they bring, you can't do without your family, eh, mate?
Yeah, for sure. Like after my granddad and uncle and dad that all went on racing, they got a lot of knowledge that they've brought into motorsport with me, and I guess just a lot of training that I have to do, a lot of hard work and dedication that has to go with it too, to get to where I am and to achieve all these accomplishments and stuff like that.
Look, we know Granddad and Dad has the Speedway wall behind them over many years. That's what they've been associated with. I'm guessing you would have been one of those young kids running around some of the dirt tracks, eating a hot dog and, having dust in the face, bit of dirt at you and everything. Yeah, I'm guessing that's
Yeah,
where it all grew up, eh?
yeah, for sure. I mean, like as I was saying, motorsport has always been around me when I was a little kid. I used to go to the track with my dad, and when I was a little kid, and Dad stopped racing. I guess I used to go watch the go-karts down at the Mount Wellington track, and that's, I guess, how it just all started from then on.
Mm-hmm.
So how long? Sorry.
As a little kid, Booker, we look at this young man now. We knew when he was a little kid. Growing up, eh, mate?
I think it was inevitable that he was going to be in some form of motorsport, to be fair. Watching him run around. But how long have you been doing the karting now? I remember, time goes fast for us old fellas now, Ashton. You got to remember that. So I do remember when I saw the first thing when Wayno said that you were doing karting. So how long have you been doing it now for, mate?
So it's been about 9.5 years. It'll be coming on 10 years in February next year.
Incredible,
And I guess throughout that, you've moved up through the age groups as it goes along, eh?
Yeah, for sure. So we've done Cadet Rock, Mini Rock, Junior Road Tax, and now I'm actually in the senior classes. So I'm versing ages up from 16 and up, all ages.
And how old are you yourself?
Yeah.
I'm 16. I turned 17 in 23 days.
23 days. Even knows how many exact days, eh? Very
Yeah.
calculated young man.
You'd be going for your car license, won't you?
I've already got my car license. I'm on my restricted. Yeah.
Woo.
You wouldn't have needed Dad to teach you to drive, though, would you? You would have just got out and got in the car and gone.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, first time I ever drove a car was a piece of piss, to be honest. Pretty easy.
I love it. These bloody motor races, there's no holding them back, eh? You know?
Yeah.
So, you've been doing quite well this year, too. I had a bit of a look on your Facebook page, There's a few trophies, behind you, too. So you told us before, it basically goes the whole year of racing.
Yeah, pretty much. So this year, all these trophies here, these are just from the recent Karstar series that I recently won. The last round was, I think, a couple of weeks ago down in Rotorua.
Wow.
So how big's your trophy cabinet with all the bloody trophies in, mate?
It's pretty big, actually. I've got a big shelf actually beside me over the side.
Yeah.
That have got heaps of trophies in it, and it's actually overflowing. There's heaps of trophies in my room too, and they've actually started just popping up around the lounge as well, just surrounding everything.
Oh, yeah, they're taking over the bloody place, all these trophies. But hey, it's credit to what you've achieved, and obviously you just won another trophy just recently. And look, I just want to go back to the speedway thing with Granddad and Dad's association with this. Were you ever tempted to hit the dirt in a former race car?
Not when I was a little kid, but nowadays, like I always like going to Western Springs and Waikato and watching all that speedway stuff. But honestly, I think just tar seal is just more my thing. I just prefer the tar seal racing, like like Porsche Cup and V8 supercars and all that stuff. But a little while ago, I was going to jump in a quarter midget, but then we sort of hit the COVID lockdown and stuff, so that never really happened. But I guess I just prefer the tar seal a little bit more than.
Fair enough. Hey, nothing wrong with that, because that's where a lot of big careers start from. But you talked about Western Springs. What actually excited you? What class excited you? Were you looking at the big ones, the big sprint cars, or midgets?
I think it's more the midgets. Just the midgets are just tough, hard racing. All the slide jobs or just the tough battles. The dirtiness, the raciness, just all that type of stuff. The adrenaline. Just all that type of stuff.
Yeah.
So moved into karting, and that's where you are now. We can see a lovely kart behind you. We'll talk a bit about the machinery and what goes into making it work, and obviously we'll talk about your sponsors towards the end of your show. But you can't do without them. And I can see on there, is it CRG? Is that's on the car? Oh, there it is, right there in front. CRG as well.
Right here.
Yeah, right there next year. But and it's even on your T-shirt. And we'll talk about the importance of sponsors, because you can't do it without them. So I'm guessing, like Booker said there, and you told us off here, you race from January right through to November. You pretty well have December off. Is that just family time, or is that basically a month to enjoy a bit of Christmas, a bit of extra food, a bit of extra pudding, open a few presents, maybe hit the beach, or is that time kind of doing a bit of that and in the shed at the same time?
I guess a bit of both, to be honest. Maybe a little bit in the shed, just working on stuff, maybe just cleaning the parts and everything. But towards the end of December, you got Christmas, and then sometimes we'll go up north somewhere, or maybe overseas to have a holiday, just have a little break from karting and just have a bit of family time.
11 months, Books. 11 months of the year.
That's a lot of racing, mate. Like seriously, that's a huge. I mean, most of the sports we see, it's all seasonal, but the karting seems to be. But I mean, we look at the amount of great drivers that have come out of karting. You got your Greg Murphys, just got McLaughlin's. I saw a picture on your page here getting an autograph on a hat from Scotty Mack. Is he someone you sort of looked up to with your racing? Who's a driver that you, or a person that's gone through the system that you've sort of looked up to and aspired to, mate?
Yeah, definitely Scotty Mack and the likes of like Shane Van Gisbergen. I've always wanted to drive a supercar, and that's the path they took to get there. Started in karting and then ended up in the supercar. So I guess Scotty Mack and Shane Van Gisbergen were definitely the ones I used to look up to, and probably still do now, to be honest.
Yeah. Kiwis dominating the motorsport at the moment around the world, up and down, and all sorts of classes, which is bloody good. Good to see the Kiwi show the rest of the world how we can drive. Noel Phipps, granddad's watching. Hey, Noel, we'll have to get out and have a game of golf together one day, mate. Scotty over there in Australia, still doing the speedway on the dirt there, mate. Hey, Nev. Loz, looking forward to catching up with the guys. Thanks to the Goodley gang. Yep, we look forward to catching up with you, mate. Stanley Lamas Martin. Hey, mate, how are you, Stanley? Welcome to the show. This is Trackside with Kokpit. Mitchell Sparrow, little nap. So, yeah, good to have them on board, eh? You know Mitchell, mate?
Yeah. Been mates with him for a long time.
Right, so why is he saying little nap? Do you tend to, is this kind of your nap time this time of the night?
Nah, it's just an old nickname my dad came up with a little while ago. Don't know how he got it. He just came up with it.
Yeah, they were good, mate. Mark, the Wires were good, actually. I went out to the game, took some kids up on Saturday. We enjoyed ourselves, and yeah, the kids loved themselves. So, yeah, no, they were good, mate. Another game this Saturday, I think it is, early afternoon game, and for most, maybe watching the All Blacks in England down there in Dunedin. But yeah, looking forward to seeing how that unfolds. Mate, but racing for you, let's get back to you, Ashton. Go-karting, you got more events coming up. What's the next event for you on the calendar?
So next event would be this weekend, actually, in Hamilton, which is the third round of the point series. So we have 4 rounds, and this is the third. But the next big series would be the top half series. So we just race in the top half of the North Island, which is another 4-round series. Which will have a lot of fast competitors, a lot of tough competitors that are going to be hard to beat.
So all year round, 11 months. Let's get this into perspective. So I'm guessing Booker's already been down to South Island. You travel the South Island a fair bit to go-karting?
Yeah, a little bit actually. In the Kart Star series, we went down to Blenheim for the Nationals. And like last year or the year before, we went to Christchurch. I've been to Invercargill a little while back when I was a little kid. Yeah, we don't travel down there a lot, but if we need to, we'll go down there for like the series and stuff like that.
So the bulk of your racing then, I guess, is in the North Island and over that period. So how often are you out on the track? Is it every second week? Is it weekly, or how does it work, mate?
Yeah, I guess so. Every second week or every second or third week, we're probably racing. And if we're not racing, like maybe we have a little 3-week break, we're probably out at the track still testing just to get back in the seat and just to feel comfortable still.
Yeah.
So you're trying to keep yourself active all the time in the seat just to find your skill set then, are you?
Yeah, for sure. You know, you might be a little rusty if you're not on the seat for a little while. So just getting back on the track just to get that rust off is always good.
So what sort of top speeds are you guys doing?
I think at the Hamilton kart track is the highest we get to, which is about 118, 119, I think.
That must feel real fast sitting that close to the ground, eh?
Yeah, it's a good sensation.
Yeah. And I think you too, like, you know, over that 11-month period, and like you're doing 3 weeks to get into the racing. So what's preparation for a young man like you? Are you go to the gym, you pump some iron, or what's the story there, mate? Or you go jogging, or
manage
what do you do to keep fit?
such a small?
Yeah, well, a little while ago, I had like a little workout program where I'd go runs and stuff, but nowadays I don't really go on runs anymore. I just go to the gym after school for about an hour and a bit and just lift some weights and stuff like that. Maybe a little bit of cardio on some days. But yeah, that's about it really.
So you got to watch what you eat. I'm guessing you can't go out there and go crazy on fast foods?
Yeah, I guess so. You don't want to be too over the limit, but lately I've been eating a little bit, but yeah, it's all right. Lead off the cart.
Yeah. Well, be honest with me. Is at a young age like you are, most your age and your mates are on the piss, to be honest with you. So how often do you get out and socialize?
A little bit. Not really. I'm not really much of a drinker. I don't really drink much.
Good boy.
Maybe on like a little special occasion, like if I win a big meeting or something, on the Sunday night. But yeah, never really go out to parties or anything. I'm not really a party guy or festivals. I just kind of stay home and do my own thing, to be honest.
Good on you. You know, that's just some of the sacrifices that many sports people like yourself and many others who want to achieve and get to the top end of their goals, because obviously there's a lot of investment behind you over a younger age, whether it's family, sponsors, whatever it is, and to achieve those goals. You know, you take a look at some of these other names that we made mention of. They're household names when it comes to motorsports. They'll put themselves right up the top of the pedestal in whatever class they race in, because they've sacrificed a lot, you know, and it's no different to you, young man. Well done. Well done to
Yeah,
you, you
thank
know,
you.
and I know that's hard at your young age when you see what do your mates think of you? You know, when they see you as a young fella, you're out there ripping shit up in your go-kart. What do they think, honestly?
Well, when I win a big meeting and I go back to school Monday, they're always there waiting for me, and they always cheer me on and say congratulations on your successes over the weekend and stuff like that.
It's good, to have that support from your mates and family. It's a question I got for you though, mate. Is like I was talking to some of the rally guys the other week on a show I did, and other people we talked to. You know, racing doesn't always go to plan. Okay, and we all know that. You know, things can happen, and you can get you could be at a meeting and get a bit down or something like that. If you get into that little bit of a rut or something's not going right, what do you do to get yourself out? Do you talk to your dad? Does your dad come talk to you, or do you have someone or that you talk to that sort of support, brings you out of that rut and puts your focus back in, or do you just have your own process?
So I guess when I'm kind of in a bad mood, dad can kind of tell. So he just leaves me alone, and I maybe just like have a little sit in the trailer for a little bit and just have a little think. But then after about 10 minutes, kind of wears off. You just got to forget about it and just move on. Maybe go hang out with your mates and something just to brighten you up. But yeah, the stuff like that you just got to put in the past. You know, you can't really do anything about it, so you just got to push on.
It's a good attitude, mate.
Yeah, great attitude. Look, you get cheered on when you said you go back into school on Monday. Got all the girls hanging around, eh? Come on, tell us.
No, not quite.
He's a bloody Phipps. He's probably got a few of them hanging off him, eh?
Yeah.
You must have heaps of girls' friend requests on Facebook and everything.
Not quite. I've actually got a girlfriend, so.
Oh, there we go. Oh, there we go, girls. You're stuffed now. You got a girlfriend.
Well, take his phone number off the screen now, Kinser.
Good on you. Good on you. Look, there's a whole lot of stuff with that Dad sent through. You know, 9 years racing, started in the cadet class, moved up through the age groups. At 12, you raced a Waikato Motorsport in the VMR class. Got your break in there in kart racing, CRG brand kart. Ryan Waldmeyer and Dane Hart. You got lap records in Whangarei, Auckland, Mount Wellington, Palmerston. What the hell, mate? Are you really that fast?
Yeah, I guess I am. A lot of hard work to get there, though, and it's all paid off.
Yeah. So what's your goals, mate? So what do you want? Where do you see it's like? Say, where do you see yourself in 10 years' time in the motorsport? Where you want to be?
Oh, that's a hard question. In 10 years, ideally, I'd like to be racing a Porsche Cup car over in Europe.
Yep.
Wow.
But yeah, it's a big dream of mine. But you know, just the financial side of it is going to be the hard thing. But yeah, ideally that would be the dream, or maybe the V8 Supercar path.
Yeah, I think I'd probably rather see in the Porsche. I think the V8 Supercars have got a bit stagnant, shall we say, nowadays.
Yeah.
But there seems to be a lot of action in the old Porsche Cup and stuff, and some of the older V8 drivers are back in that stuff, aren't they?
Yeah, for sure. I was actually talking to Dad earlier about that. I'm not sure if I would really want to take the V8 Supercar path anymore, because I've been watching a lot of that Porsche Cup series, like over in Australia, over in Europe, and it's just the adrenaline and the thrill of racing one of those cars would just be a dream.
Yeah.
Do you ever see yourself one day doing the big ovals? And plus there will be the road tracks, you know, like a Shane Van Gisbergen, and I see a couple of other VA car guys, sounds like rumors say they will be heading that way as well. Do you ever see yourself in the big states doing the big Daytona, the Talladega, all of that stuff one day? Would that be a dream of yours?
Yeah, maybe not the NASCAR side of it, but maybe the IndyCar side instead.
Oh, okay.
Quite like watching the IndyCar.
Okay.
Yeah, at the Indianapolis and all that stuff, you know.
I don't know how they can drive those cars in Indy with that bloody thing straight down the middle in front of you like that, eh? That would do my head in, eh? Yeah. You know, it'd be like your wipers stopped in front of you, you know, and you...
yeah. On the simulator and stuff, whenever I drive like a F1 car, I always just turn that off. It just annoys me a little bit, so you have the option to turn it off, so I just do that.
Let's touch on the sim side of things. I'm guessing too, because I know for a fact there's go-karts available for sim racing. You've much dabbled in a fair bit in the way you've been talking. I'm guessing you do a bit of iRacing. Do you use it to kind of help you get focused in race set mode and get the mind all set for it?
I guess kinda, yeah. Like
Yeah.
before a meeting, a guy named Scotty Briscoe actually made us the Auckland kart track and the Hamilton kart track for us
Wow.
for us to test on. And I guess it just, I don't know if it really helps anymore, but I guess it's just, I don't really know really. It just, you just, if you're going to like Hamilton before a meeting, you can maybe do a little bit of testing on there first just to get the rhythm back in. But yeah, I guess so.
Yeah, it seems to be just a common thing. Most motorsport drivers look at F1. Some of these guys are doing the online sim stuff in that regard. I think one part there was a few of them that never tested some new update at Melbourne or something, and that was the way they did it through sims. But hey, everyone gets out there and has a bit of fun online. Good thing about that, mate, you just push escape and carry on. And
Yeah,
compared
yeah.
to what you've got to go through, and let's talk about some of that stuff because it's not cheap, mate. Some of the accidents you have. And when I look at the car behind you, you don't have a roll cage like what me and Booker would know. That kind of protects you. But you would have had some pretty serious oopsies over the racing career, I'm guessing.
Uh, Not really, to be honest. I had a little bit of an incident. My first year of racing, I was only 8 years old, where I nearly flipped but didn't quite flip. But yeah, haven't really had any big crashes lately, or actually ever in my racing career. But I guess when you do flip, you just fall out of the cart, and I guess it will kind of hurt you.
Let's
Well,
talk
let's
about that
just not
particular.
find that out, eh?
Yeah. When you're when you would have seen some incidents, obviously you would have seen a few of your years racing, right? At your
Yeah.
speed and that little thing behind you, and you see something going haywire in front of you, and someone's going to go up in that, mate, your reaction time must be unbelievable.
Yeah, I've had a couple close calls, and I've had to quickly avoid. And actually, on my GoPro, which sits on the top of the radiator there, I've got a couple of videos of where people have little crashes and stuff, that's caught on the GoPro. But yeah, your reaction speeds have to be quite quick when you drive one of these, because anything can happen at any moment.
Yeah, I could imagine it, because you're going left and right and you're throwing it into the corners and out you go, do your thing. And it's like a freight train watching a whole lot of cars going around. It just takes a little minor error, but let alone if you've got that speed, I'm guessing you can shoot down the inside, come out the other side. You just got to take a get when it's there, eh?
Yeah, pretty much. Like in the class that I'm racing now, the senior class, it's a lot of, the racing's a bit rough. So if you're not going to pass someone will just pass you. So you got to make the quick decisions when you're out on the track like that.
Do you have a draft when you're racing the karts? Or is it just doesn't make a difference?
Yeah. Lately, with the new bodyworks that we've been running, there's quite a bit of a draft, especially when the wind's at high speed.
Yeah.
So yeah, when like at Hamilton, there's a big long straight. So you could be like maybe 5-6 kart lengths back, and you could still be on their bump at the end of the straight.
Okay.
Yeah, now we've
Interesting,
noticed a fair bit too. Yeah, it is interesting because there's a few speedway guys now doing the dirt kart stuff. Brad Lane is an example we spoke about earlier. Robbie Mabey's brother Paul does it as well. There's just a few of them out there doing it. Mate, I've watched some of that stuff and holy hell, aggressive, but fast and good. Clean,
Yeah.
but just good racing, eh? It's real good to watch.
For sure. I think karting is definitely one of the best motorsports to watch. It's just such close racing, and the difference between people and their lap times and stuff is just minor.
Well, it's amazing how many superstars around the world have come out of karting. To be fair, they must really hone the skills, the thinking, and the reading races and stuff. Because like you say, you're all close, and you must really got to read 2-3 cars ahead all the time, I would imagine.
Yeah, for sure. I think karting is definitely one of the starting points for everyone in motorsport, which you learn the basics of like reaction times and how to actually steer a go-kart and like throttle control and all that stuff. So yeah, it's one of the starting points where everyone starts at.
Did they have much to do to set them up for like a track, or is it just they don't really have suspension, do they? So like it's just is there anything you can do to gain an advantage and set up and anything like that, or no?
Yeah, for sure. There's a lot to do with go-kart. You got the caster camber, you got the ride heights, you got front and rear torsion bars. You can change all that stuff to make a difference. You got sprockets, you got like gear ratios you can change for more top end or more bottom end. There's a lot you can do to the motors and the carburetors. You can do, there's a lot you can change to make a difference to the car.
Okay, there's a lot more to them than I thought, to be fair, Kins.
Well, that's a good roll into talking about your car that's on your right-hand side there. Let's talk about the car. What kind of chassis is that one that's particular behind you?
So it's a CIG chassis. So my dad, as you know, Wayne, he's taken over the CIG business in New Zealand. So we import the CIGs over from Aussie, and we have a whole team that runs them here.
Okay.
The engine, in Dad's footsteps, eh? Old Noel had a kart shop.
Right?
Hey,
Yeah.
I won't tell that story about Noel and his kart shop that I know on here. I tell you, hey, Fitzy,
he knows. He's watching them and Jackie and a few of them.
Oh god!
Yeah, you don't know that one either. I better be quiet now.
Actually, we'll have to do a show with Noel one day and talk about his racing team. We'll make that happen one day. But let's talk about the engine. Let's touch on the engine. Tell us about your motor there, mate.
So it's a 125 125cc two-stroke engine. I don't really know what else to say about it, to be honest.
Yeah.
But that's all I really know.
And special tires, what you got on there and everything like that, and the wheel and all that type of stuff, and the pedals, it's all part of the package.
Yeah, for sure. So in New Zealand, we have a certain tire we have to run, and I guess you have different rims that do different things that hold the heat in the tire better, which causes the tire to do different stuff, more tire roll, all that stuff. There's a lot you can do to these things.
So could you go away now by yourself and set the kart up without any help and do it, or do you still need Dad to sort of give you the finest touches, or are you good to go now, mate?
I know a little bit, but Dad would definitely have to help me with the more technical side of it, like the engine and all that stuff. But I know a little bit. I'm slowly learning still after 9 years, but he still has to help me a little bit.
And that's the key thing to it. You're always learning. You still got to keep learning because things evolve in motorsport a lot quicker than what you actually think, especially if you want to be at the pointy end all the time, like you have been, young man. And, that's where it starts with the commitment from the family. There's people who know a bit about and tinker around with it. But you're very fortunate with the pedigree of family you come from, and you can't thank your family enough, because I'm guessing, everyone puts their little bit in. They're there to support you. They cheer you on. And, mate, family is an integral part of what you got to do to be successful in motorsport.
Yeah, for sure. Dad spends a lot of time in the garage working on go-karts. Almost every night he's in here just cleaning parts, even just tinkering with little stuff. But the whole CRG team and my family at the track is awesome. All the support they give me, all the praises after the races and stuff. They're always on the sideline watching me, cheering me on and all that stuff. And also other guys like Mike Rose who help me with the go-kart. He's another good mechanic that helps me at the track a lot.
Is it your little cousin, Dayton? Is he the one that's got into go-karts now?
Yeah, Dayton. He just started, I think, maybe 4 months, or maybe 3 months ago. A little while, not too long ago actually. But he just started it, and it's going pretty well at the moment. Yeah.
So you've got siblings, obviously, I'm guessing. Do they do any other sports, motorsports, or anything? Just follow, or they just cheer on, or they go and do their own thing?
They always come along to the meetings. My mum and my 2 sisters also, and my older brother. They always come along to the meetings and just cheer me on the sideline.
Yeah. Is there anything else you do aside from karting? I'm guessing, obviously, over the 11 months you don't have time. Is there anything else you give a dabble at, like sports-wise, or anything else?
A couple of years ago, I played rugby for school, but that was a little bit hard because I think I missed about 3 games because of karting. So I would have loved to continue that, but just too busy with karting sometimes, and it just lets the team down.
So have you got yourself a... you must, it's all good to have your goals. You want to do this in kart and you want to drive a Porsche and do all the rest of it, but you've always got to have a backup plan. Like, I think Scotty Mack was a mechanic or something, was he? An engineer or something? Things like that. Have you got any aspirations to be something else as well, to do something on the side to keep that all, as keep every option open for yourself?
Yeah, for sure. I've always looked at the mechanical side of maybe joining, being in like a professional motorsport team, like over in Australia or something. But I always want to stay in the motorsport motorsport community, whether it's racing or not racing. It'd just be a dream to be racing one, but being in a team, maybe crewing on a car, maybe like a race engineer or something like that would also be a dream.
Yeah, okay. So have you looked at, like you say, race engineering? That, I mean, I suppose race engineers nowadays have to have some sort of education as well. So do you still you excelling at your education side of things, mate, and keeping yourself on top of that as well as doing your karting?
Yeah, for sure. Education also plays a big part in the early years, like I'm in now. But I guess you gotta control both of them. You gotta equalize karting, but also gotta make sure you're doing good in your education at the same time.
Well said,
I
mate.
was just thinking too. I was thinking you'd be going for school set, but that's old term. I'm guessing you're NCEA now. Is that right?
Yeah, I'm in my second level of NCEA.
Yeah, good on you, mate. I never got school C. I got the boot out at fifth form. The 2 years rugby at third form, fourth one, I was out. They didn't want to know me in the fifth form, but hey, somehow I became a counsellor. Don't know how that bloody worked. Hey, spent a few yarns there. Mate, but you must have met so many great people over the travels you've been doing as a young man racing, and that's what the sport does. Any form of motorsports makes friendships and networks, and that's a good part of the motorsport.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I mean, back in 2019, where I actually joined CRG with Dane Hart and Brian, that's where it all started, really. That's when I properly joined a team, the CRG team, actually, when they were running it. And I guess I probably wouldn't be where I am now without them, to be honest.
Well, let's talk about that, mate, before we wrap it up. You can't do it without the sponsors. They are a massive part of supporting you. Obviously, they dig into their pockets and help support what you've achieved, young man. So you better do a shout out to some of them, eh?
Yeah, just a shout out, a big thank you to Waikato Motorsport. They've done a lot for me in the past, helped me with my racing, the financial side of it also, and also just a big thanks to the CRG New Zealand team. They also play a big part in my racing, the financial side of it, they just do so much for me, just for me to do what I love and all that type of stuff.
Look, and some of them are actually watching the show. We'll just quickly go through some of these comments. Granddad Noel's watching. You're awesome, Moko. 100%. Matt Phipps, 027. Jackie's watching. Well done, Ashton. Lisa Denham, Paul Phipps. Holden, Uncle Noel Phipps, giving him a bit of flack. Matt Phipps. Bailey James Monsell. Wicked shot, Ash. Mitchell Sparrow. Been eating a little bit lately, mate. Scott, bring on October. Hey, Scott Honeybone, how are you, mate? Shush Books. Oh, Noel's in there. Shush Books. Shush. Hey, Madu Goodley. How you, Madu? Mate, how you going? You're from Councillor Camper and Kokpitians. Mate, we'll have to get Granddad on there one day. So I know you're watching, Noel. You'll be a guest on our show one day. We'll talk about the good old days and the fun that you had, because this is a younger generation that's coming on through the name Phipps, and the name lives on in motorsport. Doesn't have to be in Speedway, but this young man is definitely putting the name Phipps out there when he gets the car team. Mate, I wish you all the best going forward for your future, whatever those endeavours bring you. Well done from a young man to where you are today. And it doesn't come easy. It comes with a lot of hard work, a lot of sweat and tears, a lot of investment, and mate, you're showing out there to the country, and I would guess the world one day, that you're there to get out there and do what you do. So thank you for joining us. I know Dad's been on my case for a bit, and wish you all the best, eh?
Thank you for bringing me on the show.
Awesome, mate.
Don't forget about us when you're really famous to come still talk to us, eh?
Yeah, don't worry. I'll remember you guys.
Yeah. Well, yeah, we will. Right, thank you.
Best of luck,
Take
Ashton.
care.
Thanks for coming, mate. We appreciate it.
Cheers, guys. Take care.
It is. There we go, young Ashton Phipps. Follow him on Ashton Phipps Motorsport. He's got a website as well. Everything you want to know about this young man around his career and where he's going to. Big goals in the future, whether it be a Porsche, which would be ideal for him as well, maybe a Fiat supercar, but a young man that's got a
very good head on his shoulders, Kins.
Yeah,
hey.
well spoken.
Yeah. I think that was inevitable though with his dad and that. They certainly, and his granddad and that, put him in the right direction and teach him well. I think that all stems from that. So he did very well. I was very impressed with some of his stuff that he's talking about and how he's doing things. So yeah, very well done.
Very well done. All right, talking of Speedway, we're going to hit the dirt because MBY Motorsport is going to join us now. None other than the man himself, Robbie. Hey, Robbie.
How's it, chaps?
Hey, mate.
Good. We're good,
Yeah,
young fella.
good.
Hey, how you been,
Yeah.
young man? Hey, all good?
Oh, yeah, chipping away, chipping away.
Jeez. Speedway season's only a few months away, not far at all.
Oh, don't even remind me. Don't even remind me. Nah, we're chipping away.
Yeah, I'm guessing, though, as a typical Speedway driver and owner of cars, you've been in the shed, haven't you? But too bloody cold.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, it's bloody cold down there at the moment. But we keep getting down there every night and chipping away. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
You heard a young Ashton Phipps, and obviously you would know the Phipps name around the Speedway circle, granddad, and obviously
Yep.
his dad and his uncle and so forth. It's no different to you, the MBY family as well. It's a massive family thing, and that's the love and passion for motorsports that you all have.
Yeah, no, it is. Like we started in go-karts years and years ago. And yeah, it's just one of those things. And then my kids started in karts as well while I was still doing speedway, and then they followed the scene, So on and on from there, really.
And Paul still does karts on the dirt, eh? Paul's into it.
Yeah. He's right into his go-karting at the moment. That gives him some time out from speedway, and yeah, and he's wheeling and dealing in second-hand car parts and stuff like that as well. So yeah. Him and Brad are up to trouble. Brad Lane.
So you're going to have the 3 cars in the baby camp again this season, mate?
Yeah, we do. Yeah. I've actually got the old car back at the moment, and my youngest one's going to drive that. Joel's going to drive that one, and I think we got Luke going to do some of the bigger meetings for us as well in that car as well. So.
Okay.
That's the plan.
That's the plan.
It's the plan. Mate, what
Yeah.
has been happening with the plan during the off season? Did you get a chance to have a breakaway from smashing the steel up and changing a few rods on engines and welding this and that and fixing up this and that? Did you get a chance, honestly, to get away in the off season and have a bit of family time and do something recreational or something?
Not at this point, but me and Brian are planning a trip away shortly. So, yeah, so we need to get away from it all before we kick into it again, So,
Like young Ashton said, January to November, go-kart racing. So pretty well when I think about you and the cars you mentioned of and who will be driving, just about all year round, just about, eh?
yeah. We don't what do you say? Don't class it as a hobby. It becomes a lifestyle. To be fair, it's just crazy, So.
Yeah.
So you're
Yeah,
all
like you
staying.
said.
You're staying with the same letter on the cars this season again.
Not sure yet.
Okay.
Oh.
All right.
Not sure.
Shit.
Yeah.
I think one of the Mount boys said you're putting an M on there. Nah, just joking, but I don't know what you're doing.
I heard it was going to be a B. Nah.
Nah.
We'll start the rumors right here, Robbie.
Actually, I'm bloody sure when he was down south, someone from Nelson said you're going to put ends and bring the Tigers back. Let's start the rumors.
Let's go. Let's start some rumors. Nah. I'll just about add every letter on my car. So, yeah, it's one of those things, I suppose.
Oh,
We look forward to see what you come out with, mate.
Yeah.
As usual.
No changes to the cars. No one's upgraded and gone out there and done anything crazy. Just going to stick with what you have and what you used to.
Yeah, no, we've got the same cars this year. Two of the cars have just had the engines come back. So they're both in the cars now, and yeah, we're just and the 4 cars just the same car as last year. So we just tidied that up, and yeah, same thing.
No liveries this year.
Not too sure what we're doing at the moment. So yeah, we're still humming and hawing, to be fair.
Mm-hmm. Look, Wayne Otters put a comment in there, and we're talking about Bronwyn now. Bronwyn's asking how that list of jobs on the house is going.
Well, you'll have to ask Bronny that one. Yeah, slowly.
Slowly.
Must be doing something right. She hasn't popped in on the camera yet. Anyway, so
Oh, yeah, no, she's away for work at the moment, so
okay, all right.
but she might pop up on comments or something.
Wicked. Good on you. Our good
Yeah.
mate Amron, always watching the show, or Lambs. Hey, Robbie, finish this off. Measure once.
Smoko twice.
And what you're listening to with the show, this is what we do our show about. We get to have a bit of a laugh with the drivers, enjoy them, enjoy it. You know, it's that banter, and that's just the kind of show we are. We had a good chat with young Ashton before, and he spoke very well. You know, these young kids coming on through. He's only a young fella, still a bloody schoolmate, and the future generations in our speedway sport. Doesn't matter what class it is. That mini stock class is an integral part of speedway because these young kids have no fear, mate. They just want to get out there and knock you old buggers around and just get out there and race hard.
Yeah, most definitely. You know, like my boys have both done the mini stock class, and yeah, it's a good leader class for sure. And the way I see it, to be honest, that class should just stay. I'll put it this way: kids class, if you want to call it. You know, yeah, that's the way I see it. It shouldn't be for adults at all. So that's just my personal opinion. You know, because there's other classes out there for everyone else, the older generation to get into. You know, so but that class has just been a massive class for everyone. So you know, you only got to look at you know,
all the
Jack
podium
Cunningham's,
winners.
you know, all the Jack Cunninghams, all the Ashtons, my boys, Todd Hemingway, you know, all those younger ones that are racing with us now are just, you know, come from that class.
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
And it's awesome. It's awesome to have, you know. So.
And I suppose on the flip side, the inevitable question for you, Robbie, and we've asked this of you many times, we've caught up in the pits and people give you cheek. How many more years left in Robbie Mabey in racing?
I don't know. I'm 1 year at a time at the moment. So yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, you enjoy it. You
yeah.
enjoy it though, and that's the main thing. It keeps you going, keeps you energized, it keeps you busy and occupied. But you enjoy it. Honestly, you enjoy it. You enjoy the camaraderie. You enjoy the friendships. You enjoy the socializing. If you're still enjoying it, why give it up?
Yeah, well, that's right. You know, like the Speedway family, you know, and your friends and your mates, and it's just so great. And I just really enjoy watching the younger generation all mixing and matching and growing together from the mini stock class as well. You know, and yeah, and it's a great privilege to be watching that and racing with those younger fellas too. You know, so.
Don't let them push you around though, Robbie. Don't let those young buggers push you around, mate.
Yeah, no, they do. Yep.
Yeah,
yep,
I know they do. I know they do. Well, you know, they need to have some respect for you fellas, mate. Hey.
Yeah. Nah, but hey, they race hard. We race hard with them as well. So hey, it is what it is, you know.
Yeah.
Overall, for the previous season, mate, you're pretty happy with the season, or I mean, you did quite a fair bit of racing, bit of travelling, got to do some teams and stuff. You're pretty happy with the way your season went?
Yeah. No, we did. Yeah. No, we had a ball. You know, we started the season going really well, and then we got through the teams, and then we had an engine malfunction in my car, and then we just focused on Logan and Joel at the end of the season. So, it was pretty good. You know, like the championship meetings didn't sort of do too well at the New Zealand's. We came home early because of the rain, due to work commitments and stuff. But so now we're planning on the Nelson trip for this year. So.
Oh wow.
Yep.
Yeah, it's going to be quite big actually.
Well, as long as you've got boats to go over with, it'll be big, mate.
Oh well, that's the big thing. Yeah, definitely. So.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yep.
that's right. It's like bloody hell. If you get the big swells and you're all down in Wellington, parked up, ready to go across with your trailers and everyone, it's like, yeah, yeah, maybe a few people there can pull a few strings and know a few of the people in behind the scenes and whatnot. But when it comes to the crunch and when you got to shut things down when the swells are too big, it's just one of those things. But we'll approach it, I suppose, when that comes up early next year in January, Robert? You got anything else big planned? I'm guessing you're going to be tuning up for what, maybe 240s and all that type of
Yeah.
stuff. North Island, Skizzy, going to go to Gizzy?
That's one we're not too sure about at the moment. We're going to work on it. So we'll do the New Zealands and South Island, and then 240s, and then we'll worry about that one a little bit later because it's after teams anyway. So
What about the Rees tour, mate?
Nah. Would love to do it with everyone, but it's just hey, work comes first too. So that's what runs our show. To be fair.
Yeah, the seasons, the calendars get pretty full on, don't they, now with the Speedway year? I mean, like, I sat down and started doing mine and Kinser's calendar for next season, and holy snap and duck shit, man, she's full on, eh?
Yeah.
So you guys are just as, Yeah.
Bron's just in the middle of sorting all our calendar out, and she's like, Jesus Christ, what else are we going to do? And I says, well, I don't know.
And then you get that curveball, which is Mother Nature. That throws a big spanner in the works as well. If that goes belly up,
Yep.
rain turns up as it has done over the seasons. There was a couple of seasons ago where it just knocked out nearly every bloody Speedway weekend. But you got to put that into the equation. It's like, good on
Yep.
you. You're passionate about what you do, obviously. You spend 1,000,000 hours in the shed, 1,000,000 hours traveling to the tracks, and hey, just got to go with what happens, eh?
Yeah, most definitely. It is what it is. So, yeah, and we look forward week in, week out to do what we do. It's the love of the sport. So.
Hey, and before you do go, Robbie, before you do say goodbye to you tonight, I just want to say thank you because I know you supported us as our show in regards to the fundraising we've done with auctions and so forth. So, what can I just say? Thanks for your support over that time as well, with your generosity to raise funds for the cause that we support. And look, we will be doing that again next Speedway season as well. So I just wanted to take time out to say thanks for your support on that, Robbie.
Oh no, you're welcome. No, we enjoy doing that stuff for that sort of those things. So it's
Okay.
just one of those. You just
Even
gotta
took
do
me
it.
out for dinner too, Kins, when I was in Rotorua.
We did.
Nice
It was a
restaurant, eh,
nice
mate? You were
restaurant here. It was a bloody good little
Yeah.
feed, actually. It was, really good. Good feed, good company, mate. You can't go wrong, can you? Eh?
Very good.
Good on you.
So
All right, Robbie. Well, we'll let you go and enjoy the rest of the housework you got to do before Bronwyn gets home, whatever that is,
yeah, into it.
before he gets you in trouble. Mate, thanks for coming to join us on the show. We'll no doubt catch up again throughout
Yeah,
the
look forward to
Speedway
catching up
season.
in the season, mate.
But
Yeah,
to you and the family, to you
thanks
and the
for
family,
having
all
me
the
on.
best, mate. Yeah.
Yeah, will do.
Awesome.
Thank
You
you,
got to
boys.
convince those boys they need to be a little more media friendly. If they don't keep
Yeah.
coming on the show, me and Kins, every time we see them in the pits, are going to put the microphone and camera in front of them.
Just do it. Just catch them on the hop.
They have a lot to say in the club rooms when they got a few of these.
Yeah.
Yeah, most probably.
Yeah, they do. They're cheeky little buggers. We've heard them.
Yeah.
All right. Good on you,
No,
Robbie.
very good.
Take care, mate. Cheers, bro.
All right,
Thank you.
team. See ya.
Thanks, Robbie.
ya.
Have a good one, mate.
Yep, bye.
Oh, awesome.
You got that? There we go.
Yeah,
That's
Robbie
awesome.
Mabey
Yeah, no,
from
he,
Mabey
they.
Motorsport.
I mean, the Mabey family are awesome. They do a lot for the sport and different clubs, mate, and just they really do commit themselves to the sport each year and each season, and I think we just need you probably need a few more like that out there, and this sport will just keep going up and up and up, wouldn't it?
Oh, exactly. Some of those comments that come through. Look, we had Noel Phipps watching as well. Totally agree, Robbie. A fair to catch for the other classes. He's still got 10 years in him. Paul was watching the show
Yeah.
tonight. I agree with the comment. Happy birthday, Terry, or Fireball. I just remembered it's your birthday, mate. Hope it's been a bloody good day. Kids class. Robbie will no doubt let you know what he's going to be doing in race season when it comes to the letter. What about teams? Who you with? Not too sure, Mike. I suppose when he gets around to putting a letter on the car, we'll find out. 100% the best family in sport. Mad love from Wayne Otten. And there's a lot of families in the sport that we love, that we follow around. Like Booker said, he's putting our calendar together. I tell you what.
Right. We are going to be
January,
busy
February,
boys
March.
again this season. Yeah.
Busy, and we'll be broke asses at the same time.
Yeah, well, I'm already broke ass, so.
We do it for the love and the passion of the sport, like many others. You know, Wayne Otten's one of those. He travels the country.
Oh,
up
mate,
and
that guy does
down.
some miles, you know. Him and
Oh,
Blake
yeah,
Speedway, they
Blake
both do
Speedway,
bloody miles
there's
and
a lot of them.
miles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey,
yeah.
Dave Thomas, how are you, mate? Hey, look, and I do know too, there's another big show. The Pits TV have been doing the build-up around those potential candidates for president and directors for Speedway New Zealand. He started, of course, with Lani Thompson, one of two that's running for presidents. And, of course, he's had Shane Dewar on, another guest tonight as well. So support Jace. He's trying to get the insight so you know, as a viewer, what the whole story is around each candidate standing to hopefully be elected for these roles. So yes, Speedway NZ, who knows what that's going to look like going forward. So yep. Hey, but thank you to everyone that's joined us, who joined us to watch young Ashton Phipps, a young kid, very, very talented. And of course, Robbie Mabey as well, with the Mabey family and their motorsport. So appreciate all your comments. Keep warm. Look after yourself through these cold, wintry days, eh?
Yeah, I might have to grow my beard back and put all the hair back on. It was a bit bloody cold about it, hey?
Yeah. Yeah. Next week, next Wednesday, we'll catch up with a couple of young men getting ready to head over to the Brisker. Trent James is going to join us, and Tyler Walker. So those are your guests for next Wednesday's show. I see Tyler selling a fair bit of the panel work from the 33 car just to raise some funds. This is where they start about fundraising to get money into the bank to get them over to the UK, because it's not cheap. And unfortunately, some of the machinery they may get might be a bit second hand, not the top end stuff, which is unfortunate. But hey, they're representing our country out there doing what they need to do. So we're going to catch up Trent and Tyler and see what opportunities they have for you to help support them get across to the other side of the world.
And we may have someone pretty special coming on near the end of the month too, a big legend of our New Zealand motorsport, but just watch our page for that. We might have a big man coming on to talk all sorts of bits and pieces with us, which should be an exciting show, and probably a lot of laughs too, based on the last time we sort of spoke to him quickly, Kins. But yeah, it's
Dave Evans.
Dave. If only we could get him to stand in front of a camera for a night, eh, old Davey? Hey.
Look, everyone, thanks for joining us back on a Wednesday. It's good to have the show back and having a bit of fun and a laugh. And thank you for your wonderful comments. Hope you enjoyed it. And yeah, take care, everyone out there. Yeah, that's right. Scott Tennant's full-time gig in Superstocks. Oh, Chaz Rodder hanging up his helmet books.
Yeah, I know. I just saw that.
Yeah, that. That's right, Wade. And Booker's driving his 33B Super Saloon. Nah, just joking. Got to start these Speedway rumors off somehow.
Oh, mate. Yeah. Thank you for the kind words earlier, Wayne, as well. I appreciate that, mate. Yeah. But yeah, hey, look, thanks everybody. Enjoy the rest of your week. And we will see you again next week.
Yeah, look forward to the Maybes bringing the Nelson Tigers back. See ya.
See you, everyone. Holy snapping duck shit.
My good mate from Bump and Run Booker joins us.
I'm excited for another great show tonight. Give it the hoot, Natty.